Pickling is the practice of preserving food in brine or vinegar. The salt and the acidity prevent the growth of harmful bacteria, while spices infuse the vegetables with their delicious flavors. I learned to pickle from my grandmother. Today, a new generation is learning the art and giving a new twist to this old-fashioned method of preserving food. I'm here with pickle entrepreneur Alan Wittenberg. Alan, what are we going to do?
So we're going to do some pickled beets as well as some pickled fennel.
Now I noticed that in this bottle that you prepped with some sliced beets already, you've got some dill.
Yeah, I went with dill. It's a really nice flavor that goes well with the beets. We're also going to use some sugar. You could add onions if you liked, or garlic, and we're going to use the traditional pickling spices as well.
Great, let's get started.
Excellent. So we're going to build the brine, and for that we're going to use some white vinegar into the pot. Some red wine vinegar.
Now, what do you need the vinegars for?
This provides the acid that will keep the brine acidic enough that the little nasty bits can't grow in it, and it'll keep it safe for us. This salt is also going to help us with that. It'll stop the nasties from having access to as much water as they need. We're going to add some sugar as well, and then we're going to add some water, which will help dissolve everything. And then if you'd be so kind as to add the pickling spices, we've got some allspice berries, as well as some bay leaves and peppercorns, which I'll get those. And then on there we've got some coriander, some mustard seed, some whole clove, and a little bit of cinnamon stick.
Ready?
Yeah. And those will go in there.
Okay, and what do we do with it now?
We're going to get this on the stove and bring it to a rolling boil. And then once that's ready, we'll add it to the jars.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
While we wait for the brine to boil, Alan cleans and peels the beets. He cuts them into quarter-inch slices on a mandolin. The uniform thickness helps the beets pickle evenly. I add a little fresh dill and then pack the jars full, leaving only enough room for the boiling brine to cover. Just don't pour it on me, okay?
Definitely.
Oh, that's scary.
And when you pour it, you want to go kind of slow and give it time to not overfill like that.
I see.
It's got to kind of percolate down through and fill in the space.
Fennel is another vegetable that pickles well. Okay, this smells a little, it's really, the vinegar's strong, it smells strong.
Yeah.
But it's a different flavor. What did you do to this?
So for the fennel, we did a little bit more sugar and also some lemon juice and lemon zest in there.
And why did you do that?
Just the flavors go better with the fennel. We could have done the dill, but dill and fennel already have some kind of similar flavors, so I wanted to add a little bit of variety. Then we'll go ahead and put the lids on these. The jars are going to be really warm, so you really just want to get it finger tight.
Not tight.
Not like
tight.
super tight.
Why don't you do it super tight?
We're going to put these in the canner to process them, and that's going to heat them to boiling, and we want to leave a little bit of room for air to escape.
While the beets and the fennel process in the boiling water bath, we use the leftover beet greens to start a bottle of kimchi. The beet greens are edible, stems and all. Alan chops them into bite-sized pieces and packs them into the bottle in layers, alternating rough stems with soft leaves. Then he adds soy sauce, red wine vinegar, and lots of hot spices, all to promote the beet greens fermentation. Yum. Pickling adds acids to fruits and vegetables. Fermentation uses salt brine and the natural bacteria to generate those protective acids, and in the process, preserves the food.
Then I'm going to put it on top of my refrigerator for about 2 months. You can leave it on the kitchen counter, give or take. You're going to let it ferment. You could eat this tomorrow morning. It just wouldn't taste like kimchi. You probably want to wait at least a month. I usually give it 2. But, it depends how patient you are.
Okay, I'll be patient. The processing bath takes about half an hour. We let the jars cool on the counter, and 8 hours later, they're ready to be stored. So they're done?
Just about. It feels like these two have sealed up. These two need to cool off a little bit more.
Alan, how do you know how to do this?
So I went to Le Cordon Bleu in Pasadena. I was classically trained. So I learned about pickling somewhat in school, But it was after I got out that I really became like super interested, kind of obsessed with it. It's kind of sad that we don't do this kind of stuff anymore because we have access to everything all year round. So I feel like this is something that people can do more and should do more to preserve flavors and heritage.
So you made it look really easy. I'm going to try this at home, but if I need help, can I call you?
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks, Alan.
My pleasure.
From the lemons of winter to the tomatoes of summer, I have a pantry full of food. Preserving the harvest doesn't have to be complicated, and the rewards are simply delicious.